Hi guys, this is Jessica from Jessica Wonders, and this is week 3 of my $21 a week grocery challenge that I'm doing in my camper. I'll link links to the first 2 weeks in the description below if you want to follow along, because I'm carrying over the groceries at the end of each week into the next week. So it's kind of an ongoing challenge. This video today is a little bit longer than the other two because I've got a few kitchen gadgets that I'm trying out that I got, and a couple of sort of more involved recipes to do. So I hope you enjoy it. If you get to the end and you like it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos. Here are my groceries for week 3 of my $21 a week challenge, my grocery challenge. I went to 4 different stores this morning. I went to Walmart and I spent $12.73, which is a bit more than I was planning on spending. The problem during COVID, this is the absolute smallest onion that I could find just by looking in the pile. And of course, because I can't touch anything or I can't go through the onions, I only want to touch the one that I'm grabbing. It makes it sort of a little bit difficult. So I paid $1 for this instead of, I think I wanted to spend 78 cents. There might have been some smaller ones, but they were underneath other onions. So I did the best I could. I got this regular ground beef was on super sale for $2.47 for this pound of ground beef, which is a smoking deal in Canada. Ground beef these days at least $5 for regular ground beef, and it could be $7 or $8 for lean ground beef. So I'm pretty happy with that purchase. Just one banana for 31 cents. This one corn was 67 cents. The onion, actually, yeah, it was $1. The Great Value Marble cheese, which I had wanted the other day, but I got Old Marble instead the other day. The Great Value Marble cheese was $3.47. The honey ham was $1.27 for 55 grams for a few sandwiches, maybe. What did I forget? Oh, the whole wheat bread was $1.57. Aunt Jemima butter syrup was $1.97, so I don't have to steal little syrup packets anymore. That should last me well a long time. Woohoo, syrup. I also went to Real Canadian Superstore and spent $6.74. The flour, for 1 kilogram of flour, 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, there you go. I paid $1.98. The no-name salsa was on sale for $1.78. I thought it was going to be mild, but the medium was on sale too. They didn't have anything hotter than medium, or I might have bought that, but medium is better than mild. So that was a great price, $1.73 for that. And then I got medium eggs for $2.93. I went to Freshco and just got a couple things, 97 cents for this taco seasoning kit, and the beans. The maple beans were 87 cents, I think. 87 cents. And then I still have points, so I went to Save On and I got a head lettuce for, it was supposed to be $2.49. I used my points, I got it for free. So that's everything for this week's groceries. If you don't know what I have left over from last week, I'll post the link to week number 2, and I show you what I have left over at the end of that video. Good morning. I'm in the camper, week 3 of my $21 a week, $1 each meal, $3 a day grocery challenge in my camper. This morning I'm going to prep some roti for all the burritos that I have planned for the week, and then I think I'm going to have some oatmeal and syrup. I'm so excited to have syrup this week. So I'm going to have some oatmeal with some syrup. I'm almost out of this yogurt. After my taco salads, I don't need it for anything else, but I do have this leftover cream still. So I'm going to add it to this. There's a little bit of yogurt left in there. Going to add it to here. Mix it up really well. Should give me a little more yogurt. So when I make yogurt, I usually make it with 18% table cream, but this cream is only 10%. So we'll see how it goes. Just leave it in a warm spot for a little while. Let it turn into yogurt. I'm just dividing my meat up into 4 servings. So the basic ingredients for the roti, hello crow. The basic ingredients for the roti is this all-purpose flour, vegetable oil, a little bit of salt. So it was about 1.5 cups of flour, I'd say, 225 grams, and then 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of oil, just sort of drizzled over the top. And then water, of course, water. I didn't mention that in the ingredients. I've got about 3/4 of a cup of water here. Just going to add water until you can make a soft dough. Just knead until it forms a ball, and then flour your surface. And we're just going to cover it and let it sit for about half an hour. So for 2 breakfasts this week, I'm going to have oatmeal with syrup and a half a banana. So that'll be great. I had a lot of it last week. I actually like oatmeal, so it's no problem. 2 breakfasts of oatmeal, banana oatmeal with syrup, except I have a lot of syrup now, and I don't have to use that tiny little syrup packet that I got from McDonald's. I'm happy. I mean, maybe it's weird, but I'm enjoying listening to the rain falling on the camper this morning. Can you hear it? I'm so excited. It's been so hot. We've had such fires and we haven't been able to go anywhere. And it's been smoky, and being outside has really been not fun. So listening to the rain falling on the camper right now is making me pretty happy. So this is the roti after it's sat for a while. It doesn't rise, obviously it doesn't have any yeast. We're going to put it on a flat surface and divide it into 6 pieces. And then we're going to roll them. I'm just going to cover these ones up so they don't dry out while I'm working one at a time with them. So I'm sure I'll get all kinds of advice, or you'll have all kinds of opinions about how to make roti. I'm certainly no chef and no expert to tell you how to do this, but I roll them out and then I fold them in, the top, bottom third, top third, with a little bit of oil brushed on them until they look like this. And then I roll them out individually each and then fry them in oil. I bought these great rolling pins on Amazon. They're not sponsored or anything, but I will put the link below. I like them because they don't have ends. I just had one of those old-fashioned rolling pins that had the holes and the handles, and they used to just fill up with gunk. So I like these. It's working out pretty well. I'm liking it a lot. I had bought 2 of these rolling pins, a large one and a small one. I think I'll keep the small one in the camper. Seems to work good. This one might be a little too long, but they come in packs of 2. Maybe I'll keep them both in here. And then you fry them in a pan. Obviously in the camper I have a pretty small pan. It gets bubbly and brown on the other side, and then you can flip it. And that's what it looks like when you flip it over. It should be all puffy like that. This is meal prep today. I made these 6 roti. For 2 lunches this week, I have ham, honey ham. I'm going to divide up into 2 servings, plus cheese and lettuce and the sriracha mayo from week number 1, and 2 ham and cheese sandwiches. And there were 10 small slices of this honey ham in that 55-gram package, enough for 2 sandwiches. So those are my 2 sandwiches for 2 lunches. I can put one away for tomorrow and eat one now. I am going to fry up 3/4 of a pound of ground beef with 3/4 of this taco seasoning for burritos. Just cook up your ground beef until no pink remains. Someone in my camper tour was laughing because I had a turkey baster in my drawer. But this is what I use the turkey baster for. I just wait for it to cool and throw it away. So I put about what I thought was 3/4 of the taco seasoning mix in there. And I'm going to save the rest of it. Simmer with water. I mean, it's tacos, right? Taco seasoning. Ta-da! So this is what's all going in my burritos. I've got the burrito, or the meat with the taco seasoning. I've grated up a bunch of cheese, some lettuce, salsa, and then my yogurt, which I use as sour cream. It's plain yogurt. I made some more from last week's yogurt and the leftover cream. So I used some of that. Should be good. Gonna make 3. And this will be 3 dinners, 3 burritos, 3 dinners. Honestly, a 1/4 pound of beef, because I cooked 3/4 of a pound of beef, is a lot. 1/4 is a lot to put on one of these burrito shells. I mean, it looks like a lot of food. Gonna eat this one. Good morning, back in the camper again. Jessica from Jessica Wanders, getting ready to wander. I started looking into some sites to go to, and really the stockpile in the camper is getting up there, and I'm feeling familiar with all of the systems. But today I'm just still cooking up some meals for my $21 a week grocery challenge in my camper. And the other day I made some roti, so it's breakfast burritos this morning. I'm going to use 3 of these roti for burrito type shells for the breakfast burritos. I'm going to heat them up in the frying pan for a little bit. And if you watched last week's video, I had some leftover beans and rice, so I'm going to put that in the burritos as well. I'm going to heat it up and put it in the burritos. I did 3 eggs scrambled for 3 burritos. I've got some sliced lettuce, some grated cheese, salt and pepper in the eggs, and then this salsa as well. I'll put this on as some more sour cream. First, some beans and rice from last week, and then some eggs, 1/3 of the eggs, 1/3 of the cheese, some lettuce, topped with plain yogurt as sour cream, and finished off with some medium salsa. This is my roti breakfast burrito. I am cooking my corn so that I can cut it off the cob. And this is the amount of corn that I got from 1 ear of corn. I cut up about 2 slices of bread, and I'm going to make croutons out of them. And I'm also going to leave the butts of the bread out for breadcrumbs. I'm going to fry up these croutons. They're pretty dry. I'm going to fry them in oil and salt and pepper. If I had any other seasonings, like Italian seasonings, I would add those to the pan. Any kind of garlic powder or onion powder would be great too. And here are my fried croutons. I'm also going to rinse and then soak 2 servings of these black beans. So for a couple of lunches this week, I'm going to have egg salad sandwich with the hard-boiled eggs that I made, a little bit of onion, obviously bread, some sriracha mayo from the first week, and then some lettuce. First I took off the big pieces of lettuce because I'm going to do a lettuce wrapped sandwich type thing later on in the week. I soaked these beans overnight, and now I'm just going to drain them, rinse them, and then cook them up. For 2 nights, I'm going to have taco salad for dinner. It's going to be lettuce, corn, some of these black beans, a little bit of seasoning, sour cream in the form of yogurt, a little bit of onion, and cheese, and some salsa. Probably took about a third. Put them in a bowl. I'm gonna add some taco seasoning. Kind of mix it up. Might add a bit of water or a bit of oil. And there it is. For breakfast for 2 mornings, I'm gonna have beans on toast with a fried egg. Butter the toast. This seems to work okay, toasting things in the frying pan. And of course, it's maple beans because I'm Canadian. Toast with hard butter, 2 eggs, frying, and the beans. There was a lot of beans in that can. I put some in this small container, save, and here it is. Beans on toast with an egg. Today I'm going to make 2 soups, one for lunch today and one for lunch tomorrow. First I'm going to separate the broccoli and the cauliflower. I'm going to use this leftover chicken stock that I made, I think last week, or that was already in the freezer. I'm going to use some butter, and then I have these garlic mashed potatoes from the first week that I'm going to use as well. That was from these leftover winter vegetables. Slightly more cauliflower left than broccoli, but we'll make do. First I'm going to fry up some onions. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. I'm going to add 2 cups of water. Add the broccoli. And I'm going to try to add half of this chicken stock. I was able to just cut it with a knife in half. So the broccoli's not frozen anymore. It's cooked a little bit. I'm going to let it cool down. So because I like to make cream soups, I needed a blender. And so I went searching on Amazon and I found this blender that charges with a USB. And I thought that's perfect. They use it for like office workers, I guess, who want like shakes on the go or something like that. So it looks pretty neat. I love the color. It comes with straws. Yeah, it comes with straws and a little cleaning thing, it looks like. I'm really excited to try this. My thinking is that I can make the soup and then blend it up in this blender and then drink it. Looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm not going to drink it out of here, but what I want to do is be able to use this as a blender. It looks pretty good. There's the blade. Here's the button. I don't know how you charge it. Oh. So there's the little charging outlet there. And then here's the cord. So I'm going to give it a try. If I like it and it works well, I'll leave the link in the description below. I like the color of it too. Maybe I'll use it for smoothies. Looks like it's charged. I have it plugged in up here. Excellent. Took about an hour to fully charge. Because it's such a small container, I'm going to try to mostly just get the larger bits blended up and then add it back into the soup. So I managed to get most of it in there. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of the liquid carefully. Where's the button? Seems good. So now I'm just going to pour it back into my original soup. Maybe rinse it out. Just kind of rinse it out with a little water just to get the last of it. I've got this leftover instant mashed potatoes. I'm adding maybe less than an 1/8 of a cup to this. And then I'm going to heat it up. I might add more. Gonna bring it to a boil. So I did manage to whiz up or blend up, run it with the soapy water in it, and then the battery died. I did run the broccoli for quite a while because I wasn't sure how thin it or how, you know, smooth it was gonna blend it up, and I probably didn't need to do it for that long, but not a super long battery life. But it still did what I wanted it to do. So pleased. It's pretty easy to clean too. Comes right apart. I'm gonna add the last of this cheese to my broccoli soup for a broccoli cheese soup. So I did end up adding about another, you know, 3/4 of an eighth of a cup, you do the math, of the mashed potatoes into here again to thicken it up, and it did. So that's good. So yeah, that definitely made a couple of servings of the broccoli soup. And I don't have any crackers, so I'm just going to use my croutons that I made. Put some croutons on top. So that's it. Cheddar broccoli. The cheese didn't really melt very well. It tastes pretty good. I mean, for a cream soup that didn't really use cream, I kind of used the mashed potatoes instead. And you can see that the bits of cheese just didn't really melt down, even though I had it up to like a full rolling boil. So I don't know if that's just a cheaper cheese or what, but it tastes fine, and the croutons are good. So there you go, broccoli cheddar soup. Beans on toast with an egg for another breakfast. I'm gonna add 2 cups of water to this pot. I'm gonna add the other half of the chicken stock and the cauliflower. And then I'm going to bring it to a boil. And that's the same. The cauliflower is not frozen anymore. I'm going to let it cool down a bit, and then I'm going to run it through the blender. For lunch today, we're making more soup. So I wouldn't say that the blender is perfect, but it did blend up my cauliflower. I didn't like the bigger chunks so much, so I wouldn't try to cram them all in there at once. But it did okay. A little finicky. Gonna add a 1/4 cup of these instant mashed potatoes to the soup. And I'm gonna add salt and pepper. As you can kind of see, it's not as smooth as if, say, I used my immersion blender. I would normally want it to be a lot smoother than that. Plus I don't have any milk left to add to it, so creaminess it's getting from the mashed potatoes. So this morning I had beans on toast. This is what I'm gonna have for lunch with some croutons on top. Is it perfect? No. Is it sufficient? Probably. For a USB charged grinder for spices and breadcrumbs and stuff, I don't know, it's working for me. And those are my breadcrumbs. They're not horrible. They're okay. Thumbs up. So you might want to wait and see as I use it, whether or not how quickly it breaks. But if you just want to take a look at it, I'll leave the link for Amazon Canada and Amazon USA. For 2 dinners, I am going to try to do something that I haven't done before, which is make black bean patties, kind of like burger patties. So I've got these black beans that I cooked before. I've got a little bit of leftover taco seasoning. I've got these breadcrumbs that I whizzed up. I've got some onion. Maybe I'll need flour and egg if I need to kind of hold them together. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to do this. Let's see how it goes. Well, I'll start with that much. Gonna add this onion. Tried to dice it pretty small. I just got in there with my hands and squished up, and it did mush pretty well, but I think it does need a binder. I'm gonna add a little bit more breadcrumbs, and I'm not gonna add flour. I'm just gonna add an egg, and I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. So that made 4 fair-sized patties. I did end up putting the rest of my breadcrumbs in, and that 1 egg. So I only wanted 2, one for dinner tonight and then one for dinner tomorrow night. And so I might wrap up the other 2 and stick them in the freezer. There they are. I'll put them in the freezer. They may even fry up better from frozen than from fresh. We'll have to see. Just frying these up in some oil. I feel like they're mostly holding together, like patties. So I put the patty in the middle of some folded lettuce, a little bit of that yogurt that I use for sour cream, some salsa, some extra little bits of lettuce. And then I'm going to like attempt to sort of fold this up, you know, and then eat it like a burger. See how it goes. It's probably going to be quite messy. Honestly, this is really good. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, I get lettuce wrapped burgers all the time, and this tastes kind of like a burger. The flavors are good. I like the taco seasoning in it. Yeah, it's yummy. I like it. Also, obviously, my wrapping skills are on point. So it is the end of week 3, and I feel like I do have a lot of stuff left over. So let's go through it. I have 2 things of ground pork left over and 1 thing of ground beef. I've got miscellaneous assortment of ends for vegetable stock or any stock that I'm making in the freezer. I've got 1 bit of beans that I froze because it was just too many beans. Some tomato paste that I froze. Oops. I've got these 2 black bean burgers patties that I made. Almost half an onion, some black beans, still a lot of rice, still a lot of flour, a tiny 1/4 cup, maybe an 1/8 of a cup of these mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes, a lot of spaghetti, so 5 slices of bread, oatmeal, still quite a bit of oatmeal, lots of syrup, lots of sriracha mayo left, about half of this salsa left, a tiny bit of yogurt, a fair amount of butter, 4 eggs, some random ketchup packets. So yeah, that's it for everything at the end of week 3. So it's the end of the video. Glad you guys made it. It was a little bit involved trying out those new kitchen gadgets. I will provide links to those items in the description below if you want to check them out or grab them. That's the second time I used the breadcrumb thing, and it's working pretty well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. Bye.